Hey crafty cuties, welcome back to Paper Terrace. If you're new, I'm Jessica. Today we are going to embellish some guest checks, and if you're new to junk journaling and you're like, why are we using guest checks? Well, they're just one piece of paper that we can play with and turn into something pretty, and at the end I'll show you how I would use one of these in my own journal, but I'm kind of going for like a messy collage-y kind of look, and I'll show you right here something like this. And since I'm actually making a bunch of these, I like to come up with like an idea that I like, and then I'll just kind of follow that so that I can make a bunch of them quickly. So I already went ahead and used some stenciling and embossing, or sorry, modeling paste to put on some texture here. I did that on a live video actually. And now I'm just gonna collage at the very top of these. And I'm going to use just like a variety of embossed paper, scraps. This is a perfect project for using your scraps. And if you have vintage guest checks, that's even better. But I just go ahead and use non-vintage, and I get mine on Amazon, which I will go ahead and give you a link to the ones I buy specifically. They are a little bit thicker, like cardstock. And I know that some people like that, especially if you're going to be using any kind of like art mediums, then they hold up just a little bit better. So I'm just going to start by kind of doing the same thing to all of these. I know you can't see every one that I'm working with, but try to focus on the ones that are in the camera view here. And I just like to start out by adding like the first layer to all of them. Then next I like to go for some kind of fabric material, something like that. So like lace is really great. And I'll just go ahead and add a little piece. I like to layer these so that you can see at least a little piece of each layer that you're adding to the top. And you can make these you can make like little snippets ahead of time and then just add them to your guest checks, whatever's easier for you. For the rest of these, I'm gonna add, I have like some different trims here from my box that I got from the Junking Journaler. And this will be kind of fun. If you have cheesecloth, that's another fun one. But you can also add like fabric scraps, like I was saying. Here we go. All right, so next I am thinking, okay, if we could add more paper scraps. I have a doily I was thinking of ripping up just to put on maybe a little part of this. I'm not going to add this to all of them, but just to give you an idea, you can add a ton of layers, you can keep it more simple. Okay, I also have some washi tape, and I wanted to start using up my washi tape a bit more, so I'm going to use this pretty, I know that my lighting's a little weird, hopefully that's better. Yeah, it's just like a vintage. I don't think you can see it that well, but I'm just going to put a little piece just up the side. So yeah, you can use these for journaling. You could, there's obviously not a lot of space on the fronts of these, but you can journal on the back of them. You can add a photo on top, or like some kind of like little piece of memorabilia. They work really good for like a vintage layout if that's what you're working with. But personally, I just use them like a journaling card usually. And so I like to have the little bit at the top to serve as kind of like a tab. Okay, I'm gonna start by stapling these on, and I actually have these little half circles of wallpaper punched out from a different project, and I'm gonna use that as like a tab at the very top. So I'm just going to start by grabbing these one by one and figuring out where I need to attach everything too. Also, there we go. Sewing these would be really fun, and I do that a lot, but sometimes I like to change it up because I know that not all of you have sewing machines. Just about stapled my finger on there, but that's okay. So I'll just add a few staples like that. And I'm not quite done. I'm going to do one more step. And also, if you want, you can add kind of like a focal point image on these, but I tend to not always do that. But I just layer this on until it looks kind of right to me, I guess. I don't stress too much about the placement of everything. And I know that some people really don't like staples. So like I was saying, you can go ahead and that's where you can sew, or you could just use glue or like some kind of adhesive tape. Oops. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to show you also, I will show you what it looks like if you wanted to add like a focal point. This one's kind of big, but it's a pretty die cut I got from somewhere. And I would probably put this off to the side and kind of let it go off the page. And even though it's covering up some of that embossing, you can still see it peeking through. I'll just kind of layer these on. That. For this one, I probably wouldn't put a tab just because there's so much going on. So that does look really pretty, honestly. Or you could do something a little bit smaller. Oops. Like one of these little Tim Holtz die cuts. And if you did that, you could do like this one has like less going on at the top. So there's different options, different ways. Just, I would say don't overthink this whole process. Just have fun with it. And then I have a little like vellum or acetate butterfly. Ooh, that one actually looks really cool. Okay, I really like how this one looks because it has like just all white and then you have the little acetate butterfly. So I'm not going to finish all of these because I also wanted to show you kind of how I would use it in a journal. Let's see, I'll go ahead and now I'm just going to grab a journal that I've already pretty much used up. But so typically I would like to put one of these like in a pocket or a side pocket like this. Just like I was saying, so the top peeks out. And then I would probably just use the back for journaling. Also, if I was going to use it on a layout, I would probably just place it down and then add like a picture. If I was using like a picture, let's see, this is kind of big, but let's say this is a picture that I'm going to put in my journal, and I would just kind of layer it on like that. So I hope that's helpful to see how I would use that in my journal. Let's see what else. Also, if you wanted to use this again on a layout, you could glue just down the side and the bottom on the corner, and then it could be like a little pocket. And then another thing is like this paper bag here, like if I journaled on it, and then place it down into the pocket as far as it can go, and then you just see the little tab, and I really like that as well. So that's everything for today's video, guys. Thank you for hanging out. I hope this inspired you to use up your guest checks. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I was going to finish these off with one more little last minute thing. And basically, I was just going to take a little stamp. This is like a little butterfly stamp. And just place it over in the corner like that. Kind of like that. There we go. Okay, guys, I'll see you later. Have a good day. Bye.